Despite the best efforts of the universe, the weekend is here. Congratulations to all of us, and welcome back to Grand Prix World. I hope you had a great Friday night, and I hope Saturday's been as it should be for you so far today. We are going to be running rounds 5 and 6 of 2003 World Championship, and so far we are at the top of the Constructors' Championship. The margin is narrower than we would wish, and that's largely because Giancarlo Fisichella is doing all the heavy lifting, while Pedro Diniz is doing all the heavy failing. Let's take a look. If we checked the news last time, we didn't. So last time out, Johnny Newhouse took the win. We had a double podium though. That was the first time this season that we haven't won a race when having a finisher, and McLaren have been out developing us. So this was kind of an obvious turn of events, really. Johnny Newhouse also got pole. Pedro Diniz was not happy with third. To be honest, I'll take a third over you binning it, mate, so let's not be too picky. Fastest lap also went to Johnny Newhouse. This really shows the extent to which we're being outdeveloped, because, as I said in the last episode, even in 2001, we weren't winning, but we were setting fastest laps. We had, let's call it a slippery car. I suppose in many ways you could compare it to, let's say, something like a Toro Rosso or a Williams today. That it was good in the speed traps, if not for winning races. And eventually we built on that strength to the point that we were winning races, and last year we were incredibly dominant. That was more, I feel, down to a lot of disorganisation among our immediate rivals, rather than us being overall superior in every sense. And we knew we were in for a tighter season in 2003. I suspect a tighter season still in 2004. And we have to hope now that the B-Spec car offers us a chance to level the playing field a bit further. Adrian Newey will be working for Jordan next season. That's pretty fucking huge news. Esteban Tuero has bought a seat at the Prost team. Ian Phillips will return to Jordan as commercial director. Shinji Nakano will move to Benetton. And Carl Gaden goes to Jordan. My, Jordan are making all the big signings. Jordan and Tyrrell have actually made some really strong staff signings already this season. Parmalat have signed with McLaren, and Volker have signed with Benetton. Other than that, nothing of any particular interest. The team is profitable once more. That's always good to know. Now, I thought we could take a brief moment to further discuss the Diniz situation. This crashing problem is getting worse and worse. I want to talk about Pedro Diniz. So I feel that all of us are in agreement that we've got to at least let him see out the season. If only because the 9.6 million he brings into the team is much more pivotal to our budget than it was last season. We need to consider that his stats on paper look quite respectable. It's his skill that really is lacking. Hopefully this season gives him a chance to progress in that regard and maybe learn to contain his newfound powers. But the point remains that if that doesn't happen, if that doesn't come to pass, we are not firing on all cylinders at the moment, and there has to be a limit to our patience. Now, for those that are available for next season, we're still looking really Jarno Trulli, Michael Schumacher, Ricardo Zonta, John Fellows, Juan Pablo Montoya and Ricardo Rosset, Luca Badoa and Damon Hill. If we were to go after anybody off that list, I suspect it would be Trulli, who on paper is a worse driver. If we wanted to take a gamble, we could go for poaching Damon Hill from Tyrrell. He's a very old man though, and 13.8 million is a bit rich for our blood. We would probably make him a much smaller offer, and just hope that he takes it as the end of the season approaches. This is all considerations, I suppose, for maybe rounds 14, 15 and 16 of the season, and then at the start of the next season we can make a call. Carl Eisen is also an option. We could begin developing him. He's also incredibly cheap compared to other drivers on the grid, but obviously the trade-off there is in outright distribution of skill points, of which he has few. There is a chance that if the car is mechanically strong enough, and that's what we've been working towards, if the engineering side is good enough, then even with him in the car pushing pushing at the lowest level possible, he should still be fighting for points. And I'd rather have a driver who was picking up 5th and 6th than drivers who fail to finish 4 rounds then pick up a 3rd. Consistency is key, and that's always been Deniz's strength in the past, and obviously we're all disappointed that it hasn't continued at the start of this season. Still, he's got time to turn things around, and maybe he will. I am going to be focusing in engine testing on making sure the next upgrade deals with any outstanding reliability problems. We want to fill that bar up. We've had more engine failures at the start of the season than we had during our bad patch with Peugeot, so I'm left thinking that it has to be addressed before the heat and the fuel economy. Factory we're still not making a call on because money is still too tight to mention. The 2004 car is coming along very, very nicely. I'm very pleased with progress here, as I hope you are too. And we are entering the wind tunnel with the B-spec car, which means we should have it in time for Monaco. It's not going to help us at Monaco because it is an upgrade package that focuses on fast cornering performance. So, you know, it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference, if any, to our performance at Monaco, but it's good to get it on the car so we can begin on the C-spec chassis, and the fact is we'll have it on the car in time for some of the faster circuits of the season, which is important. Our performance upgrade for the suspension is complete. I'm going to go for an upgrade for the electronic system, and our driver aid is still not complete because we've not got any staff on it. We're just relying on Forschung testing to develop that now. What I might do is just put someone on it. Okay, first of all let's deploy this technology upgrade, and then we'll hit the test track for some testing fun times. Testing is super cheap, and this I find pleasing. I'm going to knock a point off that and a point off you. I think that's good. I think that's good. Okay, so we're very close to getting the best fuel formula we are able to produce in conjunction with Mobile One. I'm going to spend these points fixing I think I'm going to spend these points on the intermediate tyre. Excellent, that pleases me as well. That means for Monaco we have a second evolution intermediate tyre, which is the best tyre that, again, our partnership with Goodyear can deliver. Mercedes-Benz will be delivering an Evolution 6 Aero specification engine for the next round as well, which has maxed out our reliability capacity. Work outstanding is a little bit of fuel economy, a little bit of heat tolerance, and a little bit of rigidity in the engine block. That's not necessarily something that we need to worry about, but it's always good to max it out if we've got the points to spare, because as it stands, the vibration of the engine is not causing any particular problem. We can't deploy any Forschung points because the testing wasn't fully done, but what we can do is repair cars 1, 3 into race-worthy condition. some more spare parts in the mix. And right. Let's do some recruiting as well. Make sure that we've got our strongest foot forward, as it were. And we've got potential hires in every department, which is good, because we've still got quite a few spare positions open in all departments, or we did have until that round of recruiting. Everything looks good here. Fisichella we will re-sign. I just realised his contract was open. There we go. So he's now with the team till 2005. That makes us all very, very happy, I hope. His wages I'm still not particularly happy with. They go up to 5 million, just over 5 million a season next year. It's a little bit much, but hopefully the Play Life deal takes the sting out of that particular problem. The Works deal is ready to sign with Ford. 2-season deal, we will sign that straight away. The tyre deal is closer than it was. The team deal is almost in place. They don't seem to be talking to anybody else, so I'm not going to deploy the Advantage card on there just yet. What I might do is drop it on the Ford deal straight away, maybe? I don't know, I'll hold on to it actually, because the Play Life deal is for 2 seasons. And we want a guarantee on that, because 26.5 million for 2 seasons is pretty big news. I mean, part of me was tempted to drop it on the HSBC deal, but we're not picking our fights well if we do that. Fuel is already sorted. Tyres, we're only getting a 1-season deal, unfortunately. But we are having some continuity with Goodyear. And I'm hoping this deal with Ford presents a way into that long-term engine partnership that we've not really had so far. Obviously, Ferrari were a good partner for us after our initial season. And then we moved to... Actually, no, initial season we were Hart-powered. And then for season 2 we were with Mugen Honda. And that was definitely a right decision for us at the time. We then moved to Ferrari, and I believe we were with Ferrari for a season or 2, possibly? Yeah, I think that's right. And then we went to Peugeot, and then we're now with Mercedes-Benz, which hasn't really gone the way that I'd hoped when we negotiated the deal, and now we're moving over to Ford. And I'm hoping that with Ford and with Goodyear and with Mobil 1 we can begin to form longer lasting relationships. That mean deals are negotiated faster between seasons because we're performing well together, they're happy with us, we're happy with them, and that continuity enables your cars to be more effective. When you change engine supplier or when you change tyre supplier, the behaviour of the car changes, and that can change in a good or a bad way, but it is a change and it is disruptive. And any successful Formula 1 team usually thrives on a long-term technical partnership, and I think that'd be good to have for ourselves as well here. We're still going to be chasing the 5-star sponsors, which means we need to get a bit of a wriggle on there, but as ever, it's the advantages on the multi-year deals that are most important to us initially. So, coming to the party are Ford, Play Life and Goodyear. That's important. Still not got no fan club action going on. Righty. Oh, actually, let's take a look at next season's car so far. We have there is a Ford logo on the engine cover there, but the resolution is not so good. And we've got Mobil 1 and we've got PIAA, who are still... they've been a great supporter of the team all the way through this playthrough, so we'll be chasing them next season. Both drivers have the level of push reduced. I'm going to keep it that way because we need the finishes. Okay, we will be setting up like this. for both cars, I feel. Still going split strategy, still keeping Deniz on the hard compound tyre, which I think could work to his advantage here. Yep, we had new Evo wet compound, that's right. Is there a new soft? No. No, that's fine. Okay, Evo 5 engine and race fuel for Deniz. Everything looks good. Right. Here's hoping for some better luck. Ideally we want a win, of course. Light rain, strong wind, 29 degrees. It would be nice to have that better intermediate compound tyre, but our intermediates are pretty strong anyway, so it's not like a complete kick in the knackers for us. Okay, Michael Schumacher takes pole on the 124.275. Behind him, Mika Hakkinen McLaren 124.426. Just behind him, sort of 1.4-ish. Tenths down is Giancarlo Fisichella Arrows. About half a second off the back of him is Pedro Diniz. Alexander Wurz puts his Jordan 5th, and Eddie Irvine in the Williams takes 6th. Nakano has a great session for Prost, putting it 7th. Mika Salo as well has another strong session, putting his Minardi in 8th. Johnny Herbert's Williams is 9th, and Toru Takagi's Jordan is 10th. Losers are Juan Pablo Montoya's Sauber and Alessandro Marini's Prost. Both of them didn't set a lap time. Esteban Tuero's Tyrrell is bottom of the pack, accompanied by Jarno Trulli's Benetton, the Stewarts of Collard and Rosset, and David Coulthard's Benetton. Worst session of the season for Celso Moreira's Ferrari, languishing in 15th, and Johnny Newhouse has a day to forget as well, sitting 11th in his McLaren. 22 degrees, light rain, so we have had a temperature drop. I'm going to reduce the fuel load on all stints, and I'm going to, as always, make sure Deniz is stopping, in this case on a 33-32 split. We want a single pit stop for him. And then I'm going to cross all of the fingers. Again, another double podium. Michael Schumacher takes the win on a 1:17.478. Giancarlo Fisichella second, 1:40.19.340. So actually not too far down the road from Schumacher. Really not far down the road from Schumacher. That's encouraging. That is encouraging. Pedro Diniz takes third on a 1:43.6599, ahead of Alexander Wurz's Jordan on a 1:41.42.506. Lapped and in 5th position was Jean Alesi Sauber, their best result of the season, and Nakano picks up a point for Prost, so well done there indeed. Non-finishers were Ricardo Rosset, thanks to a clutch problem. A lot of engine failures here. Jan Magnussen's Minardi, engine failure, as well as Jarno Trulli's Benetton, Mika Salo's Minardi. So both Minardis had an engine failure there. I think they're running... Is it them that's running Mecha Chrome? I forget. Eddie Irvine's Williams engine failure, and Damon Hill's Tyrrell had an engine failure as well. Mika Hakkinen had an unknown problem, but we're very grateful that he did, because he might have finished second. Who even knows? Giancarlo Fisichella has extended his lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship by virtue of Johnny Newhouse having a bad day. Michael Schumacher now sits in second, which I don't think any of us saw as being likely at the start of the season. And we've got a bit of a bigger cushion to McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. I'm still not totally confident that that's quite the gap that we require. Williams and Jordan are battling out for 4th position. Prost sit in 6th. Minardi and Sauber are equal 7th with 2 points apiece. So a lot of mixing it up going on. We have 2 of the advantages already for the Ford deal. That's really pleasing, and we can now sign Play Life. We're going to sign Play Life, and we're going to play our card, baby. On the engine deal, I don't see the point of playing an advantage card here now, because if we're getting that so quickly, then, you know, win. I'm going to drop a TV deal instead on HSBC. I'm going to take 10% of our guys off the Play Life deal. and I'm going to drop them onto another top level sponsor, in this case Danka, I think. Bit of an Arrow staple. And I'm going to save the game because it's freezing. Welcome back. I'm going to keep the same guests at the party. Let's check the news. A win for Michael Schumacher there. Giancarlo Fisichella wants to be winning, and again Diniz is not happy with third. We have signed a works contract with Ford. McLaren have signed a partnership deal with Ford. Damon Hill will be switching to Prost next season. I don't know where they found that sort of money. Mika Hakkinen had the fastest lap. Ricardo Rossi has returned to Tyrrell, buying a seat there. Alcatel will sponsor Benetton. Petronas will sponsor Williams. And Luca Badoa will be going, it seems, to Minardi. And that's about that. One moment. Oh, right. We should have a B-Spec car ready, and we sure do. Let's get that done straight out of the gate. Again, not expecting it to be a huge help for Monaco, but it's important nevertheless. Not quite there in the modelling stage with the 2004 car, but it's encouraging progress nevertheless. And we will work on another upgrade in our technology. What I'm going to do now is run a full test program again. Again, it's quite cheap to test at Monaco, so that's pleasing to me. I'm going to take 5% of our guys off fuel testing because there is no need for them to be there. And we're going to do development testing because that is important. I just want to be sure that we do this in one turn. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So, what upgrade have we unlocked here? Oh! We are replacing our new rear wing with a new rear wing. That fixes the same problem. Now, we gain 6% handling from this upgrade, so on tracks where this is a factor, we're going to see a significant performance increase, which I'm very, very happy about. This could put us back into contention with McLaren, maybe not in qualifying, but certainly over race distance. So we have to be pleased with that. We've got a single point to spend with Mobile 1, and we will, and then that's that done. No more fuel testing is required. We've got wet weather tyres to improve, and we've got an engine to improve. One across the board, and then I think we'll go for fuel economy, so we can fuel the car a little bit lighter. Yeah, wet tyres I think are the right way to go here. So point in everything, and then I'm going to put an extra point in tyre lifespan, so that we can maybe one stop on the wet races with a bit more confidence. I'm going to drop the Forschung points once I'm sure everything's begun. Yep, that means we might be able to finish that development stage on this season's car. Okay. Smashy smashy. Yeah, that's done. So we can move 2004 car into the wind tunnel. Making great progress this season. Really, really strong progress. And the traction control system is... it's nearly there. Nearly. It's not a top priority for us at all, so please don't feel put out that it's taken 5 rounds or whatever to get that 1 point on it. It's no biggie. We don't need it right now. It's more important to focus on next year's car and the chassis upgrades for this year's car and keeping our technology relevant. Right. Let's do repairs. Do we have any damage? No. That's good. Sometimes you can finish a race and still pick up damage. So it's always good to just give it a quick look. Get the spare parts coming through. We are nearly at the stage where we can build 10 spare parts per turn, and at that point really all you've got to do is keep an eye on your money, because you've got the capacity to develop whatever you need. You just have to still make sure that you're spending your money in the right places. I mean, if we had 10 million in the bank now, then we could just spend on literally everything, but having that confidence that you can develop enough spare parts to deal with accidents, to keep the cars in the top condition you can while doing other stuff, it just totally frees you up. No. Yeah, that's all done, I think. I'm second guessing myself again. Have we ordered everything? Yes, we have. Right. Then onwards. We are going to Monaco, which means we invite our most important sponsors, but fortunately we're already doing that. I mean, I'd be tempted actually to drop Goodyear for PIAA, but we're after some deals with Goodyear, and we just don't want to put that at risk any more than is necessary. I'm going to keep both drivers pushing as they are. I'm going to set up like that. Plenty of downforce. Yeah, I think that's okay. Evolution 6 fuel and engine, and new intermediate tyre for everybody. Everyone is a winner. Right. Here's hoping. 20 degrees and dry. So reasonably mild, I suppose, compared to some tracks. Let's see what we get out of this. Oh, that's not good. Johnny Newhouse puts his McLaren on pole on a 1:19.890. Michael Schumacher's Ferrari on a 1:19.946 in second. Mika Hakkinen goes third for McLaren on a 1:20.032. Giancarlo Fisichella fourth for Arrows on a 1:20.056, ahead of teammate Pedro Diniz on a 1:21.44, and Celso Moreira goes some way towards restoring his reputation with a solid 6th for Ferrari. The top 10 is rounded out by Eddie Irvine's Williams, Toru Takagi's Jordan, Shinji Nakano's Prost, and Mika Salo's Minardi. And big losers in this session were the Tyrrell, Saubers and Benettons, as ever. 27 degrees and light rain. That is interesting. That is interesting. That means we're on the new super intermediate tyre. I am going to do something a bit risky here, because we are no longer in a position to win this race based on what we've seen so far. So what I'm going to do is go for a 39-39 split with Fisichella and a 40-38 split with Diniz. And that's a very, very brave strategy. I appreciate that, and we could end up with a double DNF, or we could get a 1-2. I'm going to flip the coin. I don't think one race is going to make or break our campaign. At least I hope not. I hope it doesn't end up that close. And I think we've got to try something different. We qualified in a way that makes me worry about our overall pace. We've just deployed an upgrade to the car that makes it better on faster tracks, and this is the slowest track of the year. Yeah, I can't think of a particularly strong outcome for us by sticking to a conservative strategy that we know well, and by relying on that sort of complacency that comes from, well, it's worked in the past. I think it's fine to try something new. I suspect Diniz is more likely to finish than Fisichella. If the rain lets up, then Fisichella goes back onto the soft compound tyre, and we really don't know what the lifespan's like on those when we try and push them. Although the fact that the car starts on the intermediates means the car should be a bit lighter by the time the dry tyres go on. Anyway, enough waffling. We're flipping the coin, let's see what we get. And we get a win! Giancarlo Fisichella takes the win, 156.57, 309. That's 6.5 seconds ahead of Mick Häkkinen's McLaren. Michael Schumacher takes third for Ferrari. Alexander Wurtz's Jordan finishes 1 lap down in 4th. Nakano has another strong run to 5th. And Johnny Newhouse's McLaren takes the final points paying position. Sauber just lost out on some points there. Engine failure hit Pedro Diniz to add to his DNF tally for the season. Both Minardis failed to finish. Takagi's Jordan, Irvine's Williams, Hill's Tyrrell and Moriera's Ferrari also were casualties in that race. The final finisher was Juan Montoya's Sauber, although teammate Jean Alesi finished 2 laps down. But all it would have taken was Nakano or Newhouse or Wurtz or anyone else in the top 6 to have a failure, and Sauber would have got some points on the board there. Fisichella is still top of the Drivers' Championship, 52 points ahead of Michael Schumacher with 28, and the gap to McLaren currently sits at 21 points, so not a huge gap, but we are still top of the pile. Well, that's that. Let's take a quick look at the sponsors and then we'll wrap up the episode. The HSBC deal is done. Yay! That's pleasing. So we'll talk to PlayStation next. Tyre deal, we've got that works contract that we wanted. That's really important that we sign because there's only a limited number of works deals and we don't want to get beaten for that, particularly as there's only 2 tyre suppliers, so competition's pretty hot. We have all the bonuses now for Ford, which is pleasing, just no guarantee. And we have all the bonuses for Play Life, but we're still waiting on that guarantee. So we've gone from 26.5 million a season to 28-ish million. We do still want that guarantee to make sure we actually get the money that they're now promising to us. But that is a very, very promising start. It's round 7, we're not even halfway through the season yet, and we've now got the best deals we can get for team, engine, tyres and fuel, and in the case of team and engine deals we don't have to negotiate them again next year. And we've picked up our first 5-star sponsor, so after a bit of a shaky start we are in pretty rude health now. Our budget is currently 3 million below last year's, but we have 80% of the car covered, and if we fill all these with 5-star sponsors we'll be looking pretty sexy. Speaking of sexy, I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend, and I thank you as ever for joining me. Sorry for the intermittent service the last few days. Next week's going to be a bit shaky as well, but then the week after that I'm actually free, I'm off work, so you and I will be hanging out together much, much more. And until then, or the next time we speak, you guys take it easy and have a beer. If it's sunny, have a beer, do something nice, do whatever.